The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning to you on a finally Friday. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher. Breaking news overnight, a woman is dead after being hit by a car last night on East Panama Lane and Cottonwood Road. It happened right before 11 p.m. Police say she was walking in the road when she was hit and she was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the vehicle stayed on scene and cooperated with police. BPD says neither speed nor alcohol appear to be factors in this crash. An investigation is ongoing.
This morning, a man wanted for attempted murder and escaping KCSO custody is still on the run. This is the fourth day Marcos Rosales has been missing since taking off. Sheriff's officials say it all started on Tuesday when a deputy was driving the inmate to a medical appointment in downtown Bakersfield. KCSO says Rosales was not in handcuffs when he was being taken to that appointment. When the deputy was getting him out of the van, KCSO says Rosales threw a powdery substance at the deputy's face and then carjacked a woman and then took off. Rosales was being held on multiple charges, including attempted murder. If you see him, call 911.
A Bakersfield police officer has been charged with felony battery for allegedly assaulting a man he says hit him and his dog with a car and took off. According to the BPD, Officer Damian Romero was off duty walking his dog back on July 21st when he and his dog were hit. Romero tracked the vehicle to a nearby apartment complex and confronted the driver. According to the charging document, Romero inflicted serious injuries on that man and caused at least $400 in damage to his vehicle. Police say Romero is on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of an internal investigation. He's out on $35,000 bail and is scheduled for arraignment August 31st.
Also in your Crime Watch this morning, a man is behind bars after being arrested for allegedly threatening to kill someone and illegally possessing guns and drugs. The sheriff's office says they responded to a criminal threat on Kentucky Street near Sierra Middle School on Monday. That is where they say they found Jose Fabian Arredondo, who threatened to kill someone. Investigators tried to contact Arredondo in his northeast Bakersfield home when he allegedly tried to run from deputies and then was eventually arrested. After searching his home, KCSO says they found numerous stolen guns and ammo, 2.5 pounds of heroin, cash, and evidence of narcotics. Arredondo was booked into jail where he is being held on a number of felonies.
A prison riot broke out at the California Correctional Institution in Tehachapi yesterday morning. It happened just after 10:30 a.m. CCI officials say correctional officers used chemical agents and less lethal foam rounds to bring the riot under control. They say the inmates manufactured weapons, and those weapons were recovered following the clash, and at least 6 inmates were taken to the hospital. The investigation's ongoing.
Around town now, and some beer drinkers flocked to Templar Brewing Company last night for the Save Water, Drink Beer event. The Kern County Farm Bureau is teaming up with the Water Association of Kern County to highlight issues such as water that affect the ag industry. The event featured food, music, raffles, and of course, craft beer. One person at the event last night says it helped bring attention to ag needs.
We have nearly 100 folks coming out tonight, just showing our support for agriculture and trying to raise awareness and show the support for, how California agriculture needs water, and the southern part of the valley really needs those deliveries and those allocations.
Proceeds benefit the Kern County Farm Bureau.
Concerts by the Fountain were back last night at the marketplace. Beloved local band The Majestics played Peace Through Oldies at the main fountain from 7 to 9 p.m. The summer concert series is free every Thursday through August, with Orphan John and the Abandoned playing next Thursday, and local favorite Mento Buru wrapping up the series on August 25th.
We're back with education news now, and as school is starting back up next week for most students in Kern County, there is still a teacher shortage that is affecting many schools here in Kern. But some are optimistic this year will be different. 17's Chris Burton has the story.
Well, school administrators described last year as a jigsaw puzzle, although not nearly as fun. With widespread absences, low staffing, and a thin substitute pool, schools were doing all they could just to stay afloat. But this year, there's hope. Things might be a little different.
The number of teachers heading back to the classroom at a new low. Let's keep reading.
School districts across the country are scrambling to replace teachers leaving the job en masse. The multi-year exodus felt here in Kern as schools prepare to welcome kids back to campus.
Some schools are even struggling to really find a few teachers even this late in the game.
As superintendent of Rosedale Union School District, Sue Lemon has seen teachers pulled away from education.
Staffing has been an issue. We have seen teachers moving out of state. We've seen teachers moving to, different grade levels and or deciding to do something different, in this profession.
But some local schools are in a better spot than they were a year ago.
We are fully staffed and we feel wonderful about that. We have a lot of hope for this year.
Last year, teachers caught COVID left and right, making the shortage worse and stretching a thin substitute pool to its breaking point. But on that front, some good news from the Kern County Superintendent of Schools office. This year's countywide substitute pool is larger than last year's by nearly 50%.
We are up by about 600 subs.
Educators hoping a new normal means new teachers. Chris Burton, 17 News.
Now with the latest on coronavirus, and the Novavax vaccine has officially arrived here in Kern County. The vaccine provides patients with a protein-based alternative to the mRNA-based shots from Pfizer and Moderna. It is given in 2 doses administered 21 days apart. Our local health department says it is not offering the shots just yet, but there are 2 local providers who do have the vaccine. It is currently at Kern Medical on Mount Vernon Avenue and Priority Urgent Care on Callaway Drive. As of this morning, it is not clear when more of the vaccine will be made available to the public. All of this comes as the CDC is relaxing its COVID-19 guidelines, dropping the recommendation that Americans should quarantine if they come into close contact with an infected person.
Local health officials yesterday confirmed a 7th case of monkeypox in Kern County. As the number of cases rises, vaccines for the virus are slowly being given out across the country, starting with the most vulnerable populations. But many feel this could be creating a stigma against groups in which the virus is spreading.
We don't want to repeat the same mistakes that were made early on in, for example, the HIV epidemic, where we labeled this, a disease of the LGBTQ.
The World Health Organization said in a press conference that while around 98% of cases so far are among men who have sex with men, anyone exposed can get the disease.
Now let's look at how monkeypox is affecting California. And California Department of Public Health says Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Alameda counties have the most cases. Kern sits low on the list with 7, as the total cases in the state is nearly 2,000. And breaking down the age ranges with the most cases, only 4 cases for those under the age of 18, with most cases being seen in the 25 to 44 age ranges, 128 cases for people ages 55 to 64, and 20 cases for those 65 and older.
To help mitigate the spread of the virus in Kern, local health officials are hosting a monkeypox vaccination event Saturday. The event is scheduled from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Richard Prado East Bakersfield Senior Center. The event is free to the community, but you must be at least 18. To see if you're eligible and schedule an appointment, visit kernpublichealth.com/monkeypox.
5:35 is our time now, and the stakes have been raised dramatically in the showdown between former President Trump and the Justice Department after questioning and criticizing the FBI search of his Florida home. As all of this unfolds, there's been an attack on an FBI field office, the suspect referencing the search at Mar-a-Lago. Jay Gray has been following it all and has more from Washington.
Attorney General Merrick Garland ratcheting up the legal pressure on former President Donald Trump, asking a federal judge to unseal the search warrant and list of items seized by the FBI at Mar-a-Lago.
In light of the former president's public confirmation of the search, the surrounding circumstances, and the substantial public interest in this matter.
Mr. Trump acknowledging online overnight he won't block the release of the information. The unparalleled action by Garland coming after days of baseless speculation, unfounded accusations by the former president and his allies, and stepped up increasingly violent rhetoric online.
I will not stand by silently when their integrity is unfairly attacked.
Aimed at the FBI, Department of Justice, and other law enforcement agencies.
When you talk like this, it doesn't sound like you're pro-cop. It sounds like you're pro-coup.
Thursday, there was an attack on the FBI field office in Cincinnati.
Subject supposed to be armed with body armor, fired several shots at officers.
The suspect, Ricky Schiffer, died after a shootout with police. NBC News confirming Schiffer was at the Capitol during the January 6th insurrection. And following the search at Mar-a-Lago, posted on social media about his desire to kill FBI agents, urging others to engage in violence and to be ready for, quote, combat. Also this morning, reports the name of the judge who approved the search warrant, his home address, and names of his family members has been posted alongside threats of violence on social media. Jay Gray, NBC News, Washington.
According to a statement from her friends and family, Anne Heche suffered a catastrophic brain injury following a car crash last Friday and is not expected to survive. The actress remains in a coma and critical condition at the Grossman Burn Center in West Hills Hospital. The statement went on to say that it's long been Heche's choice to donate her organs, and she's being kept on life support to determine if any of them are viable. Last Friday, Heche was traveling in a car at high speeds when it ran off the road, hit a house, and became engulfed in flames. Police said Thursday she had drugs in her system at the time of the crash. The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.